All right, in the last video, we went over how to create a works cited entry for a web page on a website using MLA guidelines. And so now the next step is to decide what information I want to add to my paper and how to cite it in the body of the essay. So I'm going to scroll up to the beginning of my paper. I want to incorporate this information into my introduction. So I have kind of a hook. I definitely have a thesis statement here, but some good stuff's missing in the middle. So that's where I'll add the information. Let's go back to the actual website. There we go. Okay, so remember we were on the Media Center and we found some information about the park, a 100-word description, and then we have a little bit of park history. I've decided that what I want to include is how many total rides, shows, and attractions they have, and maybe that they have 15 roller coasters and a water park. And then the other thing is I want to say the date, or at least the year that the park opened, which is 1972. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my essay, and I'm going to start with a signal phrase. This is very important in college writing. We'll start simple with something like this. According to Kings Island's official website, comma, and then if I work from memory, I'm less likely to accidentally plagiarize and steal the original wording. If you want to use the original wording from the web page, you can, but you need to use quotation marks around that word for word language. The park opened in 1972. That's right, isn't it? Let's double check. 1972. All right. Today, it has more than 100 attractions, including 15 roller coasters. Okay, so I have a signal phrase and I have two sentences in a row where I have gotten that information from an outside source. So I'm obligated, required to include an in-text citation. I know it will be in parentheses and I know it goes before the final period, so I'm just going to go ahead and put some parentheses in there. I need a space before it. Okay, good. So now let's go look at that Little Seagull handbook and see what it says about in-text citations. Remember, we don't have an author and we don't have page numbers, so what should go inside those parentheses? I'm going to go to the MLA section. And now I am interested in the section with in-text documentation. Oh, author unknown. That's what I need. I'm going to click on that. Okay. So it says, if you don't know the author, use the work's title or shortened version of the title in the parenthetical reference. All right. That's not so bad. So I just need to remind myself what the first thing is in my works cited entry, and then that's what will go in the parentheses. So there's my works cited. Media Center, and it's in quotation marks in my works cited entry, so I know it needs to look the same in my parenthetical citation. So I'm going back up to the top. Media Center, quotation mark, Media Center, quotation mark, get rid of the extra stuff. All right, so I've done it. I've met my outside source requirement for my paper. I've provided my reader with some more background information before I dive into my review. If you notice, the way that the citation works, it's a nice little matching system. It's designed for the eye of the reader. So if I'm going through and reading this, and let's say this paper has 20 outside sources, and I want to learn more about this source. Well, I know that it begins with Media Center. So then I scroll down to my works cited that I'm looking at. Imagine if there were like 20 other works cited entries listed here in alphabetical order. and you would just scroll through and find the one that matches what you just saw, Media Center. Now I know this is the source that was used, and this is how I know how to get to the website. Nifty, right? I know this is not the most exciting thing when it comes to academic writing. It's certainly not my favorite part about writing, but it's just incredibly important. It's a skill that you're going to have to use over and over again. I hope you found this video helpful. Just like the last one, if you need to watch it again, just go ahead and watch it again. There's nothing wrong with that.